I hope you're doing well. This is the last video in the series on the fruits of the Spirit. In Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 through 23, we read, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such there is no law." Now in this video we will be dealing with self-control, or temperance, as some people put it. And oftentimes we think of temperance when we use that word just in respects of alcohol, and it goes much, much further than that. It goes to all areas of life. Self-control, the idea that one's desire or one's appetite does not lead him through his life. Right? We understand that we have to eat, and I'm using this as an example. We understand that we must eat, but eating too much, being gluttonous, it's unhealthy. The same is true with everything else. We need to be careful in what we do and with what appetites and what desires guide us. That's where we get the idea of temperance, is the fact that we're not going to go too far into something, or some things we'll avoid altogether if need be. Now in the next verse, Paul writes in verse 24, he says, "And those who are Christ have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires." Friend, if you're baptized, if you are a Christian, you're born again. Rise to walk in newness of life. So he says in verse 25, "If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit." If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. He says in verse 26, "Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another." He says, "Keep your eyes on the prize, brethren." So I'd like to encourage you, as well as myself, as we go throughout our lives, to live with temperance.